So here's a new project for us. This is a Gibson J50, which is much like a J45, except there's not a sunburst. Some of the big things that are going to happen is the frets are all going to be replaced because these are horribly dented. This is clearly not the original pick guard, so that'll get unbolted and replaced with something closer to an original. And then inside of the guitar is where most of the work is going to happen. The second brace is just plain missing. The first brace is loose from the back. The third brace, somebody else already took it upon themselves to apparently pour a bunch of epoxy in there and hope that some of it caught. So I don't know that we're going to be able to do anything with that. And then way in the back, the fourth brace is also loose from the back of the guitar, so we'll figure something out with that. I think the owner said this guitar is from 1962. It looks like it's been played a lot. It's filthy and banged up and full of lacquer checks. There have been cracks repaired on the back. They're stable, but they weren't very well repaired, but I don't think we can do anything about that. This biggest crack, Jeff pointed out, on the inside has been stabilized with a tongue depressor. Why not? It's as good as anything else, I suppose. But anyway, those we can't really do much with, but should be an interesting project. There's the new back brace, 1/4 inch wide, 1/2 inch tall, 6 foot radius of curvature. Okay, Jeff's got a needle and syringe full of hide glue, and we're getting some glue on the farthest back brace because it's loose from the back of the guitar. These clamps are holding a caul that runs along the back, pushing the back brace, well, pushing the back of the guitar onto the brace that Jeff put the glue on. Trying to stick some wedges on the brace so that when we clamp the caul on the back, there will be something to brace against it. So the glue is along this brace, and you can see it gushing over onto the tape. Now we're just going to clamp the back and push the back down onto the brace. Now I'll start working on the frets. These are really badly worn. There's not nearly enough material left to just level and recrown them. So they're all going to come out and get replaced with new ones. Alright, frets are out. Now I'll get this nut out of the way. Just gently tap it to break the glue. This customer wants a new nut. Chances are I would have to have put a new one on anyway with the new frets. To loosen the truss rod just a little bit to get the fretboard as close to flat as possible before I level it a little bit with a sanding block. You can see here there are a lot of divots in the fretboard from years and years of playing. I'm not going to try to sand so much rosewood that I remove those divots completely, but I am going to sand it a little bit more and try to minimize them. I know there are techniques, and I've used them myself, where people will mix epoxy or super glue with rosewood dust and put it in the divots. Honestly, they're not that deep, and I never like the look I wind up with when I've done that fill technique. The filled divots seem to stand out like a sore thumb, but I don't think these are deep enough that they're really going to affect the person playing it. So I'll reduce them a little bit and then leave well enough alone. This is the process. Well, some of these frets went in a little too easily. It's not unusual in an old, especially rosewood fretboard, for the slots to kind of wear out. So when you put new frets in, they really don't grip as well as they should. So what I'm going to do is put just a little dab of super glue into the end of each fret, and that'll help keep it right where I want it to be. So I'll put a drop of glue and then knock the fret down, and if necessary I'll hold the fret down until the glue dries. Those went down quite well. No need to hold. So I'll let that glue dry for a few minutes, then I'll do the other side of those 3 frets and just keep moving that way all the way up the fretboard. After the filing, I use a piece of 320 grit sandpaper wrapped around a pencil and run it back and forth across the tops of the frets. And this takes out the file marks and also reduces the facets that I created with the file to something closer to a continuous curve. I'll just go back and forth a few times with the 320, and then I'll switch to 400 grit and 600 grit and finally polish the frets, first with steel wool, and then I'll use a buffing wheel and give them a real nice shine at the end. Now just the final polishing with this little wheel, and I'm going to protect the rosewood. I just want to polish the fret. removes the last little scratches, makes the frets nice and smooth and shiny.